Greetings everyone. I had a video recorded for this probably over a week ago and was about to upload it and then decided that there were things I didn't like about it and I changed my mind about some things and that I really needed to re-record it and was going to re-record it, but then I got busy and things happened and it didn't happen, and so here I am over a weekend in November and I still haven't done my November roundup or my October roundup. Good lord, what month is this? October roundup and November TBR. And so I'm going to do one big video. And before I get started, I want to apologize for the way I talked about Hurricane Sandy in my last video. I talked about it in a very flippant way, and it was wrong of me, and if you were affected by Hurricane Sandy, I sincerely hope that you're recovering and that all is well with you. I don't wish harm on anyone, and I'm really sorry for the way I talked about Hurricane Sandy. About the live shows, I still really like the idea, and obviously I didn't end up doing a live show on November 1st, you've probably noticed, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I thought that I should probably wait until I have more subscribers on YouTube before I start doing a live show. I think I only have about 12 right now, and I don't know how many of you would realistically show up, so I thought I would wait. So today I'm going, again, like I said, I'm going to do one big video. I'm going to tell you about the books I bought in October, the books I read in October, and the books I hope to read in November. When I was doing booktube videos over on my old channel, I used to separate them out and do separate videos for each thing, but it felt like I was doing a lot of videos that were going up around the same time that were really similar in content, and it just felt like too much. So I thought I would try combining them into one video. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll try to post little links to each section, so if you want to skip around, you can. And I don't know which format, whether the big video or the separate little videos I'm going to end up doing ultimately, but I wanted to try something different and see how I liked it and then go from there. So, anyway, I did buy some books in October, so I thought I would start with a October book haul. First on that list is Glass Houses by Richelle Caine. This is the first book in the Morganville vampire series, and I don't know much about it. Honestly, I don't know, I just heard it was a vampire series, and maybe it has something, the main character's in college? I'm not entirely positive. Anyway, I'll get around to that eventually sometime. If I Stay by Gail Forman. I have heard really good things about this. It's about a girl who goes into a coma and has an out-of-body experience. I've actually ended up with 2 copies of this book somehow by accident. So at some point in time I will probably be giving one of them away. Not sure when. We'll find out sometime. Fire by Kristin Cashore. I have actually already read this. I own a hardcover copy, and then I thought I'd buy a paperback copy because I have a paperback copy of Graceling and I sort of wanted them to match. And it's a companion novel to Graceling by Kristin Cashore. And I've already read it and I've really enjoyed it. And oddly enough, I have not bought a copy of Bitter Blue, the final book in the series. You would think that I would have bought the book that I didn't have a copy of yet already, but no. We'll do that eventually because I really should read Bitter Blue because that's the only book in the series I haven't read yet. Ash by Malinda Lo. This is a retelling of Cinderella, and it, I believe, features a lesbian character or lesbian couple maybe, and might feature Asian characters of Asian descent, but I'm not really sure about that. If someone can confirm that, that would be great. Next up, The Initiation and the Captive, Part 1 by L.J. Smith. This is a bind-up of the first 2 books in the Secret Circle series. You may or may not be aware that there was a TV show on the CW called The Secret Circle. It was based on this series. It only lasted 1 season, and then it was canceled. And I think I missed the first few episodes, but I watched that series. And honestly, I'll talk about it in a minute. Next up, The Awakening and the Struggle by L.J. Smith. This is the first 2 books in the Vampire Diaries series. And like The Secret Circle, I actually do watch this. And I haven't seen every episode. In fact, I think I missed the entire 2nd season. And I don't really care enough to go back and watch it, but I still do usually keep up with what's currently on the air. And honestly, I kind of liken it to Crack, this and The Secret Circle. I know that they're horrible. I think that they're pretty horrible, but I, for whatever reason, can't stop watching. I can't really explain it. I understand that the Vampire Diaries and The Secret Circle of books are very different, so I guess I'll see how different they are. And finally, I got Secret Vampire, Daughters of Darkness, and Spellbinder by L.J. Smith. This is also a bind-up of the first 3 books in the Night World series. I think I went and got this out of the library at one point in time and read Secret Vampire, but then didn't read the other 2. Yeah, so I think this was the first time I've ever bought bind-up books in my life, and I'm not sure if I like them or not. So, because this is pretty big, so it'll be kind of pain in the butt to carry around. So now let's talk about the books that I actually read in October. I decided to focus on mostly paranormal books that sounded like they had the potential to be fairly creepy. Some of them actually ended up being more creepy than others. I ended up reading 4 books. 2 of them were physical books, and 2 of them I listened to the audiobooks, so, however you want to look at that. The first book I read was Vampire Academy by Richelle Mead. And this was okay. It was a reread for me. It wasn't horrible, but I think it was probably my least favorite book of the month. I read The Graveyard Book by Neil Gaiman. I listened to the audiobook of A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. And I listened to the audiobook of... Crap, what's the name of that stupid book? The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. Wow, I'm doing good today. The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson. And I liked the story of The Name of the Star by Maureen Johnson, but didn't really like the audiobook narrator. So I'm probably going to end up buying a paperback copy of it just so I have like a physical version of it to read. As for my favorite book of the month, I'm not really sure. Like I said, I think the Vampire Academy was my least favorite. Not sure about favorite though. Because I don't have actual books to hold up for you, because 2 of my books were audiobooks, I don't really have anything to hold up there. So I am going to show you the covers of the books that I read right now. And finally, let's talk about the books that I'm going to be reading in the month of November. As you may or may not be aware, there was a presidential election here in the U.S. earlier this week. It was on the 6th, I believe. And also coming up this month is Thanksgiving in the U.S. So I thought that, well, these two events had me thinking about American history, American politics, and things like that. So I have decided to dub November 2012 Sarah Vowell Month. If you're not familiar with Sarah Vowell, she is a journalist who is probably best known for her appearances on NPR. And she has written several books about American history, American political history, that sort of thing. So this month I'm going to be reading 4 books by Sarah Vowell. 2 of them are physical books, 2 of them are audiobooks that are actually read by Sarah Vowell herself. And so let me tell you a little bit about them. The first book I plan on reading is Assassination Vacation. I actually started reading this already. I'm about a little over 100 pages in, and I should probably get on reading it and finishing it up. I thought that would be a good book to start off the month with because it's about Sarah's journey from various historical... Basically, Sarah Vowell took a road trip around the United States to various spots that are associated with presidential assassinations. And I thought that might be a good thing to read during the week of the presidential election, not because I hope that anyone gets assassinated, but because I thought that might be an interesting thing to do. Next on my list is Take the Cannoli, which I'm not entirely sure what that's about, but I guess I will be finding out. Next up is the Wordy Shipmates, and I think that has something to do with the Massachusetts Bay Colony, although I'm not entirely sure, and I guess I will be finding out. And my final book of the month is the Partly Cloudy Patriot by Sarah Vowell. Again, I'm really not entirely sure what that is, but I guess I'll be, again, finding out. And the last 2 books that I mentioned are audiobooks that, again, like I said, will be that are read by Sarah Vowell, which I think should be interesting. I only have one other previous experience with Sarah Vowell. I listened to the audiobook of Unfamiliar Fishes that a while ago, and she read it, and I thought that was kind of fun because of the way the sound of her voice is very... Well, if you ever listen to it on NPR, you probably know what I mean. So anyway, that is it for this month. Please tell me what you think of this format of the big long video, or would you, if you would prefer either the big long video or the several short videos that come out around the same time. Please let me know in the comments. I would appreciate feedback about this. And I think that's it for me. So I will see you later. Bye.